Welcome back. In this video, we're going to look at DNA and how it codes for proteins. So you probably already know that DNA is found in the nucleus of cells. You can think of the nucleus as a hollow ball. And if you look inside the nucleus, you will see the DNA molecules. If you've watched my previous video about genes, you'll know that DNA contains our genetic code. Let's zoom in on a section of DNA. Can you see that it looks like a ladder and the rungs of the ladder are made up of 4 letters, C, G, A and T. The order of these letters is really important. Just like when you're spelling a word, you need to write the letters in the correct order in order for the word to make sense. If we decode the genetic code, we can see that it contains thousands of different recipes. Each of these recipes is called a gene, and we have about 20,000 different genes in our body. Each gene is the code or recipe for making one protein that the body needs. Proteins do all sorts of different jobs. I've listed some here, and if you want to learn more about them, they're explained in my other videos. If you've watched my video on genes, you should have a good understanding of everything covered so far. If you haven't watched that video, you might like to try it before continuing any further. For the rest of the video, we'll look at how your body starts with a molecule of DNA and uses it to build a molecule of protein. If you're new here, welcome to BioSmash. I'm Jo, I'm a science teacher, and I'll help you understand biology better. Let's start by spending some time looking at the structure of DNA. If you look at DNA, you'll see it's made of 2 strands. Here is strand 1, and here is strand 2. So DNA is a double-stranded molecule. It looks a bit like a ladder with rungs. Look at the rungs of the ladder. What do you notice about the pairs of letters? Look at the letter G. It's always paired with a certain letter. Can you see which it is? G is always paired with C. Now let's look at A. What's A paired with? A is paired with T. We call these letters bases, so the pairs of bases are called base pairs. Now let's look at how DNA is used to build proteins. Building proteins is actually a 2-step process. The first stage is transcription, and the second stage is called translation. Let's start by looking at transcription. DNA contains a code, so the cell needs something that can read that code. Reading the code is the job of the ribosomes. The ribosome reads the code and uses it to build proteins. If you want to learn more about ribosomes, you can check out this video, which is linked below. But for now, you just need to know that ribosomes look something like this, and they can be found inside the cytoplasm of the cell. As you know, the DNA code is stored in the nucleus of the cell, so somehow that code needs to get to the ribosome in the cytoplasm. However, the DNA molecules are not allowed to leave the nucleus. It may help to think of the nucleus as a library with very strict rules. The library is full of books, and each book is one gene. You can look at the books, but you can't take them out of the library. If you want to use an instruction or recipe inside the book, you will need to make a copy of that instruction. This copying out process is called transcription. And in the same way, if the cell wants to use one of the genes, it has to copy that section of the DNA. So here is a copy of our section of DNA. And that copy is made of a molecule called RNA. RNA is also made up of 4 letters, but it is a single-stranded molecule, whereas DNA, as you can see, has got 2 strands. Let's look at how this process of transcription happens. Firstly, the 2 strands of DNA separate so that the bases are exposed. RNA bases can then pair up with the DNA bases to make an RNA molecule. Afterwards, the DNA closes back up again and the RNA molecule is ready to go to the ribosomes. If you look very closely at the RNA, you might see that where there were T's in the DNA, there are U's in the RNA. Let's break off and spend a few minutes looking at the differences between DNA and RNA. If you compare the pictures of DNA and RNA, you should be able to see some differences. Firstly, DNA is a double-stranded molecule. RNA is a single-stranded molecule, which means that the bases do not have partners. DNA is made using DNA bases, which are C, G, A and T. RNA is made from RNA bases, which are C, G, A and U. there's no T. DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid because the sugar in DNA is called deoxyribose. And RNA is called ribonucleic acid because it contains the sugar ribose. Now that we've summarised that, let's look at the second part of building proteins, which is called translation. So our cell has copied the section of DNA that the cell needs, it's copied the gene, and the copy is on RNA. The RNA copy is currently trapped inside the nucleus, but the nucleus contains little holes called nuclear pores. And the RNA copies of the gene can leave the nucleus through these nuclear pores. This means that our RNA copy of our gene is now inside the cytoplasm, which is the same place as the ribosomes. So the ribosome will come and attach to the RNA molecule so that it can read the code. Our ribosome needs to take the RNA code and use it to build a protein that the body needs. Now, proteins are made of little building blocks called amino acids, and there are 20 different amino acids found in humans. And you can make different proteins by putting these amino acids in different orders. So, if you want to make insulin hormone, which is one protein, you might put the amino acids in this order. But if you want to make an antibody protein, you might put the amino acids in this order. So each gene is the instruction for making one protein. So each gene is the order that the amino acids need to go in to make that protein. The gene or genetic code is read 3 letters at a time. So it's like a recipe that's made up of 3-letter words. Each 3-letter word is the code for one particular amino acid. I'm simplifying this process to help you understand it, but I will make a more detailed video and link that below. So the ribosome positions itself so that it covers 2 of these 3-letter words. And it starts by reading the first one, which as you can see is CAC. So CAC is the code for the green amino acid. So the ribosome reads the RNA and adds the green amino acid. The next 3-letter word is GAC, and GAC is the code for the yellow amino acid. So the ribosome joins the green amino acid to the yellow amino acid. The ribosome then shifts along the RNA so that it can read the next 3-letter code, and then it adds the responding amino acid to the chain. The ribosome continues to move along the RNA until it gets to the end and adds the final amino acid. The chain of amino acids that's been made can now fold up to make the 3D protein. The RNA diffuses away to another part of the cytoplasm. The RNA is still in the cytoplasm, meaning that a new ribosome can come along and start the process all over again. Well done for getting this far. I've made a little quiz so you can check if you've remembered and understood the key ideas. I'll show you 4 statements. For each one, you need to decide if it's true or false. Number 1. DNA contains 4 bases, C, G, A and U. Number 2. Genes control the order of amino acids in a protein. Is that true or false? Number 3. Ribosomes attach to a DNA molecule. And number 4. RNA can be found in the nucleus. So for each one, you need to decide if it's true or false. I'm about to tell you the answer, so if you need a little bit more time, pause the video now. Our first statement is false because DNA contains 4 bases, C, G, A and T. Our second statement is true. Genes do control the order of amino acids in a protein. Number 3 is false. Ribosomes don't attach to a DNA molecule, they attach to an RNA molecule. And number 4 is also true. RNA can be found in the nucleus because it's produced in the nucleus by copying the DNA, and then it moves into the cytoplasm, so it can be found in the cytoplasm too. I'm developing some extra resources to help you with revision, so if you want to look at any of those, then please do check out the online shop linked below. Well done you for reaching the end of the video. Don't worry if you didn't get all of this, you can always watch the video again tomorrow or another time soon. If you did find the video helpful, please do like and subscribe to help my channel grow and help other people to find it too. Also do let me know if you've got any requests for future videos and I'll try my best. And if you'd like to do some more revision, you might want to check out one of these videos. Hope to see you again soon.